Hello, so in this video I'll explain how in-cluster authentication works in Kubernetes and how service account is working here. So in my Kubernetes, as we saw in the last video, in Kubernetes schedule project, uh, our fast API runs inside the cluster and creates Kubernetes job dynamically. To do that, it must authenticate to the Kubernetes API server. So in this video, I'll explain how in-cluster authentication works using the service account. So in our API folder in app.py file, when we run, I'll explain how it is working. So when we run kubeconfig locally, we use kubeconfig file, but inside a Kubernetes pod there is no kubeconfig. So how does a pod authenticates to Kubernetes? So if we run the command kubeconfig config view, this file is only for the users, not pods. So every pod in Kubernetes runs with a service account. The service account is identity of the pod. So the main thing is the users authenticate using kubeconfig and pods authenticate using the service accounts. So if we do kubectl get service account and kubectl get pods, we get the pod pointing to service account name. Here we can assume it to be default. So what Kubernetes injects automatically? Kubernetes automatically mounts the credentials into the pod. This is credentials are token, CA certificate, and namespaces. So how does load underscore in cluster config function works in our app.py file? So this tells the Kubernetes client that use this service account credentials that Kubernetes mounted into this pod. So no kubeconfig, no password, or no environment variables are there. And then later what client.batch v1 API function does, this creates a client that talks to the Kubernetes batch API, which are cron jobs and jobs. In production, permissions are controlled using RBAC. The service account only gets access it needs. So this is how CI/CD system and internal controller works. In cluster authentication, let me summarize this. What is in cluster authentication? Allows pods to securely interact with Kubernetes API using service account without user credential or kubeconfig.